This episode of Total Drama Reviews contains clips from Total Drama World Tour. I do not own Total Drama World Tour. All rights go to FreshTV. Remember to be civil and do not be me in the comments. Seriously, it can get really messed up. Carpe diem, my name is Ultranatic, and this is Total Drama Reviews. This is where I, as a lover of animation, reality shows, and music, look over the show that combine them together the best. And in this episode, Super Happy Crazy Fun Time Japan, we now go to the country that I'm sure all of you want to see represented well, Guam. Weird twist, right? Because that country's not in the episode title. Of course it's Japan. Yep, the land of geishas, origami, sushi, and pretty much every acclaimed anime on the planet. And I'd like to say Total Drama lives up to that reputation, but the truth is, it just might. I mean, the episode has its flaws, several in fact, but upon rewatch, this is where the concept of the entire season was sold for me, despite being a massive jumping the shark concept. So what could this episode have done to turn me around on this absolutely bonkers idea for a season? Well, get out your Daniel-san headbands, I just want an excuse to reuse this. This is Super Happy Crazy Fun Time Japan. We open in a comic class with Noah trying to calm down Owen, who is again panicking about flying.
I'm too young to die!
Stop sweating, Lunchbox. Air travel is like the 15th safest mode of transportation. Unless you're in a death trap. This one, for example.
So much for 1 in a billion.
But Owen plugs up this huge hole in an aeronautical aircraft. Again, and we cut to first class where Courtney pitches to be the leader of her team.
I happen to like winning and being in first class, which happens to make me an ideal leader.
You're, like, not the only person on the team, Courtney. There is my friend Sierra to consider.
Okay, I know given everything we know about Sierra, I should be really squigged out by this, but, well, she is doing it to this guy. I'm not saying that makes it okay, but let the karma be distributed, and once that's done, come back to me and we'll see if that hatred hasn't settled in yet.
Welcome to today's challenge, and I hope you all brought your giant radioactive monster repellent.
Oh, this will come back into play later on, and not in a good way.
We are about to land in Japan!
Gosh, you guys, that's totally a Chinese outfit.
Thank you, Harold. Now remember, anyone who doesn't sing...
You'd really think you'd work harder to get it right. Your cultural insensitivity is just, gosh. I mean, gosh.
Yeah, for all the praise I gave his characterization last season, I don't know what switch the writers flipped to make Harold like this, but I'm kind of sick of the guy. All he does is spew useless fact after useless fact, and it irritates the crap out of me.
The paddle must connect with the ball at a perfect 33.7-degree angle to maximize the impact. It's sensei. Call me sensei. It was art, a metaphor, a commentary on the Earth's sorrow, and it's crying out for more.
Yep, and if you can't stand people like that either, then you are watching the wrong channel, because I do that a lot too. But at least I try to keep it funny. There's nothing funny about Harold here.
She's kind of got the personality of an encyclopedia. You open it up, there ain't nothing in there fun to read. You only open it when you need information.
In fact, Harold is so annoying, Chef chops the plane door up to send the contestants flying.
Or we could have just landed the plane!
Who's doing all these plane repairs now? Oh, you know the answer to that question.
Seriously? I mean, seriously?
Sing, and I might think about saving your musical product!
Okay, one, they are safe, but not in any way having to do with Chris, so go to hell. And two, they're falling from several thousand feet in the air. How were any of them able to hear that ding? But whatever, nitpicks aside, how's the song itself? It's freaking fantastic.
We're singing as we're falling.
Well, summer cannon falling.
Our lives begin to flash before our eyes.
I'm not kidding. If y'all are tired of me complaining about the musical element of this season being ridiculous, I mean, okay, it is still ridiculous, but in a way that feels natural to the show now, as our characters sing a Broadway-style number about all the things they'd like to have and do before they die.
Make it home to see my mama.
Mary Cody, catch a barrel. Be an actress in a drama.
Now, ignoring that the idea of these characters dying just makes me chuckle, it's just an excellently crafted song.
A rift in time.
Parachute?
Waterbed.
A trampoline!
Springy shoe.
Rocket food!
The wordplay is stupendous, every character is in rhythm, and for them being amateurs, this melody is basic enough to where they probably would be able to keep up with it. So even the suspension of disbelief aspect works well here.
Prom destroyer.
Into a throwing star!
Oh, Courtney, again about the whole wanting to be a lawyer thing? Have a backup plan. You're as good at making arguments as Louis Tully.
Okay, so the blackout was a big problem for everybody, okay? I was stuck in an elevator for 2 hours and I had to make the whole time. But I don't blame them, because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you.
Very good, Louis. Short but pointless.
But thankfully, they all landed a giant bowl of rice. What are the friggin' odds? Oh, not that they'd land in that after all. This next challenge does take place at a Japanese game show studio, but how was their aim so perfect that no one missed the bowl? Legolas wasn't that accurate.
Bow down before Superhuman Mega Pinball Smash.
I love Japanese game shows! My favorite is Human Itchy My Car Go-Go, where you have to throw a banana into a car window using a giant shrimp fork!
You know, I don't know how much Tyler gets talked about, but I've rarely ever had a bad thing to say about him. He might have no skills at all as an athlete, but he's obviously very enthusiastic about playing. His scenes always crack me up. And even if Lindsay's a horribly forgetful girlfriend, he's always been a good boyfriend to her.
This is so against the rules.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Hey, why don't you just chill out?
Why don't you dodge this?
Ow!
Yeah, aside from Duncan and maybe Trent, I can't think of any other guy to stand up to Heather at this point in the show, so kudos to Tyler for that. And now seeing this side of him geeking out over Japanese game shows, please, that's an automatic qualifier for my list of best people in history.
I'm gonna need one volunteer from each team to climb into these giant hamster balls. Your teammates are gonna beat you around the game board, scoring points by bouncing you off bumpers and posts. Most points wins, and I have a special local surprise for each of you to share your little ball-shaped paradise with. Victory?
We choose DJ.
Coolio, here's your pinball buddy.
A panda? No! Remember when I crumpled that mummy puppy in Egypt? Hey there, little buddy. Wish I had a biscuit to give you.
That so totally did not happen.
Where did they even get footage of a pyramid exploding? Unless they set that up, which I wouldn't put past this show.
Team Chris is really hot.
I'm allergic to panda dander.
You got my memo about my life-threatening allergies?
Sure someone did.
I'll do it. For my team.
Team Amazon.
Gwen's face could use some remodeling.
I hate to tell you, but we're on the same team, so you might want to flip the witch switch back to on.
Would you girls like some leadership?
Again, you could just play this for 7 hours and I'd be satisfied.
Stop bickering. I'll do it. The beast you'll be sharing your space with is Sierra.
So they all take part in a giant pinball game. At worst they get concussions, so no casualties for now.
It's human pinball time.
Sorry, man. Sorry again. Sorry, man. This paddle must connect with the ball at a perfect 33.7-degree angle.
How the help or get out of the way!
Yeah, why was DJ picked for this challenge again? I mean, animal curse aside, he's the strongest person on your team, so he'd be perfect for maneuvering the flippers. In fact, because I'm on a callback kick right now,
We have to figure out who we're gonna vote on.
I think it should be Princess, or the Brick House here. You two are the only ones here wearing chicken hats. And if we ever have to lift a truck, I like our odds with the big guy.
but no, instead we got Stream Bean Arms over here and Lindsay. You know, the people deemed the physically weakest last season.
You and Lindsay came in last in the football drills. Loser versus loser.
I mean, to some degree, I still call BS on that, but there's only so much slag LaShawn and Bridget can pick up. That's all I'm saying here.
If we got a point for every time she kissed me in there.
We'd be millionaires.
Is this her gum?
Okay, my enjoyment of Sierra is slowly withering away. That's almost as gross as...
Thanks. My dad would have killed me.
And you best not remind me of that. The challenge ends with Team Amazon taking the rear, Team Victory placing, and Team Chris winning, earning an advantage in part 2.
Welcome to Total Drama Action!
Very nice food. I like it.
Hey there, way oh so cute monster.
That piece of cinematic gold is the Japanese promo. Total Drama is huge here.
But that was in English, so why are they dubbing our voices?
Turns out the locals just don't like the sounds of y'all. Sorry.
No, you're not.
I can't help but find that funny, and it's not the most offensive dubbing I've seen by a long shot. So the teams must make their own commercials using whatever props they find in the airplane storage area, with Team Chris envisioning a Godzilla parody.
That's a lot of fish.
And Team Victory a somber, old-school Japanese style.
I have a dramatic vision. It mixes Kurosawa's pathos with Miyazaki's sense of wonder.
Okay, Harold still sucks here, but I really appreciate that they made Kurosawa and Miyazaki canon in this universe. +1 to Harold for that.
A pathetic pile of stuff nobody wants.
Was that?
Oh, right, I forgot to mention. You know how the last episode ended with Zeke clinging to the tail of the plane?
I'm not going anywhere. This game's mine, eh?
Well, he somehow clawed his way into the cargo hold and just camps out there for most of the season, which leads to reveals later on that have way less shock value when all this spoiling is going on.
Found him living in the cargo hold, homeschooling with the rat.
Now, this isn't the only time I've seen something like this in animation. In My Little Pony Season 5, a villain from the season premiere, Starlight Glimmer, gets defeated but constantly shows up in the background of various later episodes, evidently spying on our main character and all to build up her role in the season finale. But you have to have a really keen eye to catch stuff like this, as well as Sierra-level devotion to this show. So, of course, every Brony and Pegasister noticed it. Duh.
You noticed, I noticed, we all noticed.
But at least that show wasn't making it obvious. Total Drama World Tour, however, does not care. It is as subtle about Ezekiel's later reveals as...
You do know you got voted out first last time, right?
Word. And I spent every minute since making sure that don't happen again.
You know, I take that back. This add-on to the season is genius.
We have the candy fish swimming in the fish tank, then it breaks out and plays basketball.
2 Dr. Seuss spinning masks. We toss candy into their mouths and...
Insane! Flashing lights and fireworks. Chef wants to be dazzled.
You guys, they're all good ideas and
Overruled.
Honestly, as uncopacetic as this team is, they're still making more progress than... well, Congress.
We're done shooting, Owen. You can take the suit off.
I got really sweaty and now it won't come off.
Shouldn't that make it easier to get the suit off? What logic are these people using? Fair enough, I don't know why I asked.
The large out-of-shape monster!
We must run!
Think of the children.
He's so hot!
Well, it's good World Tour is spraying some love to the second season as well.
Next up, Team Victory with A Samurai's Lament.
Great samurai!
Please, do you have food?
Psst, DJ, your line?
Well, I can't say this without sounding like a hyperbole, but, this is the greatest commercial in the history of commercials.
America?
Yep, grayer than that.
The hunger! The hunger!
This is the peak of accidental comedy, with the overacting towards a commercial for fish candy, a random beach ball getting deflated by Harold's sword, and by far the best performance in the entire commercial from DJ.
DJ, your line?
I'd like to imagine he's having another hallucination about his mama, and this is just what he always looks like when he thinks of her.
The son I raised would never lie or cheat.
What is he staring at so dumbfounded for? Is it just the bizarreness of this commercial happening at all? It's not like Japan is a stranger to emotional commercials to ridiculous things. Let us have a moment of silence for Segata Sanshiro.
Next up, the Amazon.
Chris, as the leader of Team Amazon, it falls to me to tell you that our team didn't...
come up with an amazing title for our awesome commercial.
finish now.
Eat them now. Eat them then. Eat them anytime. Just eat them, yeah.
You ate it.
Well, Chef?
I think I gotta go with Team Amazon. I don't know. I just love exploding donuts.
Look, I might love Team Victory's commercial, but Chef Hatchet, you are a man who has his priorities in the right place. Chef also names Team Victory losers because, irony, and Alejandro gives a pep talk to Harold.
It could just as easily have been me. We still have our honor. And girls, especially those of Lashana's majestic caliber. They love guys with honor.
Like samurais?
Like samurais.
We then get to the voting, which has some hit and miss jokes, but it also shows DJ, voting himself off. Dude, why don't you just quit like Duncan? I despise quitting, but at least that would get you to your actual goal rather than go through this tedious process. Doesn't anyone know how to do this right?
The final bag goes to...
Wait! It was I who brought dishonor to our team.
Come again?
Only one thing can restore the balance.
So, Harold quits just because of one pep talk with the season's biggest villain? That's not how this is supposed to work. In fact, let me skip ahead a little bit. Alejandro is a slow burn type of villain. Unlike Heather, who was brash and bitchy straight to people's faces and had her betrayals be front and center, Alejandro tries to ease people into his traps with sheer personality.
Oh, thanks. You know we're on different teams, right?
My mother raised a gentleman. Teams are irrelevant.
Now, everyone says he's what Justin should have been like as a villain, and to that I say...
No shit.
And we see, for several episodes, he does things to get the other contestants, especially from Team Victory, to meet their demise. Except for Harold.
I went to Sensei Steve's feudal Japanese summer camp.
Oh yeah? I speak Japanese too.
Yeah, if Alejandro wanted Harold out, we are given no indication that that was his goal. For all we know, he thought Harold was going home, but wanted him to feel better, and Harold just took it to mean leave with dignity.
Harold, that's a toy lightsaber.
Doing a bang-up job, as you can see.
Now, for the purpose of Alejandro's arc, maybe this was the point where he realized he could easily mold these contestants' wills with little effort. But why not show Alejandro's reaction to this major development? He does so for all the other eliminations, but not for this one. Again, to compare this to Heather...
Isn't that Eva's MP3 player? Isn't she gonna get, like, really mad when she realizes it's gone?
That's exactly what I'm counting on.
Eva, the Dock of Shame? Oh, wait.
So Eva was one of their strongest players, and now she's gone. I am so running this game.
You see, Heather targeted a strong female player, got no blood in her hands, and then gloats about it in confessionals. That's good. It shows Heather knows exactly what she's doing. But for Alejandro, shouldn't we see how impressed he is by basically being the reason someone quits the game? We know he already thinks highly of himself, but this would be the first time he's been able to take those claims of his and put them into action. So even he wouldn't know what he's capable of. We certainly didn't. But I digress. Harold quits. Do I hate him for that? Yeah, but I kind of already did.
It was I who brought dishonor to our team.
Now let me state clear as day, for the record, across all his major appearances, I like Harold from Total Drama. But World Tour was not his season at all.
It's like we're being cooked in a giant oven.
It might help if you weren't dressed like a giant baked potato.
Aluminum foil means the aliens can't read your brains. It's a real problem in this area.
He just yammered on about random shit, I think trying to capture his stride from the last season, but failing. So I don't hold quitting against him too much. I think even he knew his journey was complete, but it certainly doesn't make his involvement in the season any better. Oh, by the way, no casualty count for him falling out of a plane minus a parachute because... Yeah, there were exclusive clips following the eliminations this season, so if they're pertinent, I'll bring them up. And here, not only is it confirmed Harold survives, oh so did Duncan, big shock, but even after voluntarily leaving the game, Harold still won't shut up.
This was really for the best. I was starting to get a little claustrophobic in the plane anyway. There's only so many cubic feet of air in the average airliner.
Like, seriously, all we want you to do is this. Like, shut up. Like, shut up.
And that was Super Happy Crazy Fun Time Japan. A very fitting title overall. I mean, the ending's kind of wonky, but nowhere close to the worst I've seen. And aside from a couple lousy character moments from Harold, DJ, and Sierra, this episode showed that it really holds up. The comedy's great, the callbacks are great, the song is great. There's just a lot of greatness to be had here. Do I wish the ending worked out better? Sure. But if I just stop the plot when the challenge ends, I've got a satisfactory outcome already. And we wouldn't lose much time in the process. So I say Total Drama's trip to Japan deserves a big domo arigato. And now, I've got good news and bad news. Bad news, my next video won't be a Total Drama review. It'll be another music retrospective. Trust me, this can't wait. I want it done by year's end. However, the good news is, because I don't want a long hiatus either, I will be putting Total Drama reviews in between my worst list, best list, and hot take videos, because I don't want to be gone forever either. Now, with all that addressed, what year of music am I covering this time? It's about time I got around to this one.
You got plans tonight? I'm a couple 100 miles from Japan and I was thinking I could fly to your hotel tonight.